Namaskar. Worship. In Indian languages, we use the term puja. 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 It converts to, sometimes we think of puja as prayer, but generally worship is a more preferred or more perfect term, I would say, because prayer is more, the term for prayer is prarthana. But there's another term, festival. In India, again, worship and festivals are very linked together. All festivities include a portion or a system of worshiping. Worshipping the God that you believe in, called Ishwar, Allah, God, however we look at it. But generally in India, where a lot of people practice the religion which is generally called Hinduism, as you all, many of you would know, that Hinduism is a very diverse religion. There's the practices are not along any one single god or one single practice methodology, one single kind of prayer. The upasana or aradhana or the methods of praying or seeking the divine or getting close to the divine, all that is, there are hundreds of different ways in which people practice these things, these processes of trying to reach out to God, essentially. And for that, they use different kinds of symbolisms, different idols, different methods, different symbolisms in terms of what they do in order to reach out to God, the exact methodology or process that is followed for designing the practice or conducting the practice. All of these are very diverse. Because India, of course, is a land of diversities. Unity in diversity is what this country has always believed in, and it has celebrated diversity. Of course, in modern era, even in the West, even in the modern management jargon, there is a great use or great value that is being given to this issue of diversity and how people should be including diversity within their entire thought process, within the thinking, within the management ethos, etc. But in this country, we have just grown up always just soaking in this diversity all around us. So there has been never any special training programs on diversity, etc. But it has been just a way of life. Now, within this diversity, the unity that we see is that there are all these different practices of worshiping. Worshiping. What is worship? And that's really is the topic of our satsang today. Why worship? What is worship? We are trying to go a little deeper into this act that we call worship or puja. Why do puja? Well, of course, the standard answers that prevail, that everyone is very knowledgeable about, and most people believe in, are the standard answers like puja or worship is your way to propitiate the gods, to really make the gods happy, to propitiate them. In Indian languages, it's called Bhagwan ko tusht karna. Bhagwan is God, and tusht karna is to propitiate them, is to kind of make them happy. But the point is similarly, before I get on to the points about these, there are other definitions of puja or worship. People say that it's a way by which you are becoming, it's a practice through which you are trying to become one with God. You are trying to realize God. You are trying to bring God within you, bring the divinity within you. You are trying to become an expression of divinity. These are also the standard terms that are being used, or standard definitions that are used of why you should do puja. But the most common purpose is that you will propitiate the gods, and the gods are happy, they will make you happy. That's the kind of line that is used most generally. Now, in either of these kind of definitions, there seems to be, when I have been as I was growing up and I was trying to make sense of all these things that were going all around us all the time, what would seem a little confusing, and I'm not saying that it is confusing totally, but what would seem a little confusing is that on one hand, if you say God is the one who's the owner, who's the Malik as in who's the master of all that is, everything that is there, then how can you propitiate, how can you satisfy God? Because you have to satisfy by taking something from him that is his. You have to steal something of his and give it back to him. That is this act of propitiating him. Your time is his, your things are his, every material, that's all his, as in he's the master of everything. So how can you take something from him only and give it back and think that you're propitiating? So these are kind of confusions that would come up once in a while. Or you would think that if you're trying to become one with God, but on the other hand, you're saying everything, he's omnipresent, he's everywhere, God is all that is. So how can I become one? He's present in me also, etc. So how can people become one? God is already in everyone, God is all that is. So these were kind of questions that would bother a thinker, especially if you wanted to go deeper and question what was going on. So when at least I observed at the processes that would happen in every piece of worship or every event of worshipping, every puja that would happen, some things became very clear and common. And I think it is important to delve a little deeper and understand what goes on in all these puja ceremonies whenever these worshipping ceremonies takes place. And India is a land of ceremonies. It's a land of festivities. And especially the season that is coming now. I mean, tomorrow is a particular day where Ganesha, the idol, the god with the trunks, he's going to be kind of propitiated, and everyone is going to, the whole country will kind of bow down and do festivities and ceremonies to propitiate this god Ganesha. So that is Ganesh Chaturthi. Tomorrow is a particular day. And it's just the beginning. This is a season in Bengal, from where I am currently present and where we are recording this video from. Very soon there is the Durga Puja, and that's a huge festivity, the festival, everyone. So entire social makeup is connected with worship and puja and festivities and all that. So connected with these festivities or ceremonies, when we go deeper and see what's going on, we always find that there are essentially two characters which expand into four characters who are part of all these ceremonies. First is called the Yajman, or the organizer of the ceremony, of the puja, of the worship ceremony. And then there is a Purohit, or the priest, who is really conducting the ceremony. So these are two characters. The priest is not the organizer. The organizer is someone who mobilizes the funds, the resources and everything. The Purohit or the priest is actually working for the Yajman or the organizer. So these are two characters, the organizers and the priest. So Yajman and Purohit. This is somewhat common today in any other event also. Any event that you see, there is an event flow of the event. An event management organization or event manager would tell you that there is an event flow that has to be managed, and there is an organizer of the event and there is an anchor. Anchor is managing the event flow. So the anchor of the event is really like the priest or the Purohit. The anchor knows exactly what is going to happen when, and he or she ensures that things happen in the correct flow. In the same way, like the anchor of an event, the Purohit comes in as the anchor of the festival or the ceremony, the worship ceremony. Now here we must understand the Purohit or the priest is not in that sense the owner. He's not the one, he or she is not the one who is funding it. The organizer is funding it, but the organizer is completely surrendered in terms of the procedure to the Purohit or to the priest. The priest is guiding and ensuring that the proper process is followed. The event flow is conducted, and the organizer is completely surrendered to the Purohit, to the priest and doing exactly what the priest allows him or requests him or asks him or instructs him to do. Then there are the other two characters, the Upasya or the Aradhya or the God or the Ishwar or the force that you are praying or that you are trying to propitiate or who you are worshipping. And then there is the worshipper, which is the Bhakt or the devotees or the people who are darshanarthis, who come for darshan. Darshan means who want to actually participate in this whole process of the worshipping ceremony. They come to get to accept the prasad, which means the prasad is the benefits of the puja. They accept it. Prasad grahan it is called. So they come to do prasad grahan. So these are essentially the four elements or four characters of this whole event, in which the two primary characters become the Yajman and the Purohit, who are essentially creating a facility or creating a platform for the devotee and the Ishwar or the God or the divine to kind of come together. Now, what I have always seen is that the method that the Purohit follows is very well defined. The Purohit comes right in the beginning, sits with the Yajman and comes up with a plan, comes up with the exact time, date, a schedule, schedules everything that's going to happen at what time things are going to start. So a lot about punctuality, a lot about ensuring that the listing out things so the right resources are available at the right time, so that at the time of the puja everything is easily available. No one is just looking around, hey, where am I going to find this, where am I going to find that and all that, and run around. No, to remove all that commotion or chaos, there is to bring in order into the whole thing. Now then on the day of the worship ceremony, the Purohit comes and actually comes very well. He's taken a bath and properly neat, clean clothes, and so he's total focus on hygiene and well-being, and comes and conducts the whole event exactly based on standard operating procedures. Now he actually comes with a booklet which could be traditionally being passed down over hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years, which defines exactly how the whole process is going to be conducted. Even if he has to wash his hand, and he washes his hand every once in a while, there is the koshakushi, it's called, the place where the holy water is there, the clean water with which he washes his hand every once in a while. How much water this priest is going to take on his hand, that's well defined in that SOP booklet. It's not called an SOP, but it's basically Vidhan. Vidhan is Vidhi, means the process. So the SOP is well defined, how much water you're going to take so that the water doesn't spill over or is not too little. So all that is so meticulously defined. That's how the standard operating procedure of the puja or the worship ceremony is documented. And that's what so the whole process, when I observe it, what comes through is that the puja ceremony or the worship ceremony is actually a training program which is teaching us how to get involved in any kind of job, any project. So no matter what you're trying to do, if you're trying to build a computer program or develop a software, or you're trying to build a building, you're a construction business, or you're a carpenter, or you're a taxi driver, or what have you. You could be an accountant keeping accounts. No matter what work you do, what is your primary activity of our livelihood, no matter what you do, that activity, your work, how should you do it? How should you take up any project is exactly what the Purohit is showing you. So the significance of the puja or the worship ceremony is actually to teach us, to train us, to instruct us how to go about any work, how to create SOPs, how to ensure. So it's actually trying to build a quality within us for following standard operating procedures, for being dedicated to SOPs, to being dedicated to good quality, Six Sigma procedures. So that's really the significance of any puja or worship. They say in English, the proverb goes, work is worship. But how can work become worship unless you conduct any work that you do in the same way that you conduct worshipping? So that is work is worship, which is also the almost a tagline or the way people understand Karma Yoga. traditionally for thousands of years, people have easily talked about it by saying work is worship, is what Karma Yoga means. So in the Karma Yoga for 21st century, we are trying to give through this Fit for Life program, through our sadhana paddhati, our processes of daily routine, we are trying to bring in this same ethos of work is worship. And that is the connect between the worship ceremonies, the pujas, and the sadhana paddhati that we are talking about here. That's all for today, folks. Have a good day, take it easy, and take care. Namaskar.